Game number 3 has been started, and we're just 2 games away from figuring out which 6 of these 16 teams will be joining the contenders for Phase 2. Looking at the scoreboard, things are pretty damn tight. Realistically, I would say we have somewhere around 8 teams trying to fight for 3 spots right now. Maybe even 9. 9 teams fighting for 3 spots. That's gonna be it's gonna be tricky, but it is going to be a fight they will have to, of course, endeavor and go all the way through before we get to the end of this one, because ain't nothing is gonna be coming easy for anyone here. I do not think. Venconas this time around are going to be the team to go all the way up north. Arrows saying, wait, Venconas? What are you guys doing up here? I thought it was LXG who looted Severny all of a sudden, and now we got Venconas up here instead. So 3 guys in here. Wizards under pressure from the very start. They were in the previous game as well, but ended up winning it anyway. So they're of course sitting all the way up top. And Venconas, they need themselves some good games. They're sitting in 11th right now. Right now they are 14 points off of making it into the contenders phase 2. They were in there for phase 1. Then they fell down to the relegation or the promotionals, and now they're trying to see if they can make their way back on in. LXG and Aztec Warriors, they're fighting the never-ending fight of Yasnaya, but seems like they have been able to, yeah, they have been able to share it pretty well over the tournament so far, so not really any issues coming in there. Not really any issues at all. And for those of you guys watching who might be curious to see scoreboards or leaderboards or any of the sort, I think there right now should be a link in the chat. You can do ! leaderboard, and then you will get that link up to PUBGesports.eu. In there you can see both the info for contenders, for Pro League, and all those things going on. Then also, if you go up to the top left corner on the homepage, you can go up and select your region, and then you can look into how things have been going on in both Japan, Korea, America, all those things. So if you want to stay tuned and stay up to date on your info regarding competitive PUBG, that would be a smart homepage to bookmark, or to throw up in your whatever list you have of homepages that you regularly visit. No jokes intended. BenQ and Art of War, they have not come out of nowhere, because all these players are names we've seen a lot of times before, but they have come out of their little hiding maybe that they were in last week. They barely even made it to stage 2, and now that they're here, somebody within the group has told the other ones, guys, we need to step up if we want to get back in, because they were playing in phase 1 just under another name. They were playing as the team called Sweaty Nerds. If we want to have a chance here, we have got to get something going, and they sure as hell have been. Made their way all the way up to the top. Right now they're sitting in 2nd place, but that's not gonna matter. They will most likely guaranteedly be in contenders for next season, so well done to them. I want to say that, yeah, okay, Art of War and Wizards, they're pretty much guaranteed at this point, but Personal Courage most likely will be up there as well, but we never know. If you have 2 slumber games here, all these other teams, they will come and they will steal your spot. So it's not going to be easy, as I said before, for any of the teams to get on in, because the further we get to the end, the more people start realizing what's on the line here. Because either it's the alternative between either you have a league you're going to be playing for potential spotting contenders over the next 8 weeks, so you will have weekly games to be played. Oh, LXG, that's a vehicle gone again. Happened to them last time too. Either you get 3 weeks of games to go your way all the time, or you get into a situation where you can go to play opens, but that's not going to be guaranteed. It's gonna be tricky. So of course everybody here, I would assume, wants to secure themselves that spot. And everybody, well, I mean, the more games we're getting played, the harder it's going to be, right? Of course, but with a crazy performance, we could see everyone make their way on in. Not that every team will get in, but everybody has a chance to get there. Aztec Warriors send out Outlaw to scout up towards the area of Volcano. And, well, I mean, he's taking a few shots up towards the compound to see how much movement he's tracking. Not really seeing a whole lot of movement up there right now. From remaining players, Moshtek coming up to assist now. The call came in from Outlaw that there wasn't that much movement, but as we can see, there are quite a few players up there. It's just that none of them are really exposing or showing themselves. So it could be a trap should they want to try and engage in this, expecting there to be fewer players. But as we saw in the beginning of the game, Circle did go very center. Now it is closing on in, but it's going to be a little while before it's going to be all the way there. And for those of you guys who knows this game competitively enough, you won't be well, I mean, joining me, you won't be expecting any crazy rotations coming in. What we could end up seeing, as we see right here, is teams trying to set up and sort of hold off rotations that are more common. One of the more common spots to rotate on through in this circle would be Potato Hill, so it makes perfect sense for Personal Courage to set themselves up there. But now they did somehow, they did let Persis through. I was expecting them to get themselves a knockoff there, but didn't really happen. And Kobo is completely correct in what he's saying. For those of you guys who are wondering, there's a 10-minute delay on the games, but I am watching them with the same delay that you guys are, so I am live and talking to you. Which also makes it a lot easier for me to interact, should that be a thing we would want to do. Amir Moore gets himself a crate. And, well, I mean, Benkonas, they're not in yet, so they would, of course, want to get themselves a good game here. That's an AWM, it seems like. Yep, it's sticking out through the ground. Full level 3 and AWM added to it. That's a good pickup for them. Trying to see if they can get some more points here in the final 2 games. Yannick being chased down by Andy. Is he gonna jump out? At least the vehicle is gonna fly out, but no pull-ups or fights happening for either side. And he is now stopping, or is he? It's turning around, I'm spinning around, and doesn't manage to really figure out what he wants to do. Cerebro, they've had a rough time in these games as well, but they are, of course, with a bit of luck and a lot of kills within somewhat of a reach of the top. Out these and the temporary name. Temporary name, they're not guaranteed at all yet. They need to play it very smart. They need to play it very, very careful, and make these rotations really, really wisely, because now they're going more and more center, and with the center position being taken by them, well, it's gonna mean that more and more teams are most likely in there already, because we are seeing the new circle pop really, really soon. So it's always risky trying to drive in towards the center of the circle later on in the first one. It seems to me like they're able to pull it off, at least so far. Cerebro, they've gone down to what some like to call the liquid compound. If you have another name for it, that's great. Let me know in the chat what you guys call this compound. Mise chilling out in Novo. Seems like there were some issues in the plane, and now the circle goes somewhat down southwest. Pachinki is in the dead center of it, and we know that's a horrible, horrible spot to be in. So most likely no one's gonna go there. And the mountains around it are going to be hard to access because, well, I mean, with this circle, you're so far down on the southern edge, you would have to go far in the blue in order to really get down there. This is going to be an interesting one. What do you do if you're a team sitting far up north here? Do you just go all the way out in the blue and try and make your way in for the third circle? Or do you try and crash down like we see both Ghost Legion and Aztec Warriors do right now? How do you play this if you end up getting caught off in the open here? If Aztec lose vehicles out here on the ridge line, the position is good, but this early in the game you can easily get trapped down out here with so many teams around you. Arsenal runs over a teammate. That's not what we want to have happen. Don't park your vehicle on top of your opponents. Easy strategy. You can see us, they're looking around. Again, as I said before, this is a good spot to sit in on paper. But with the team in Barnes, with the team on the other side, and with the team north of you, you can be shot at from so many different angles. And as you can see, they're just a few centimeters out of nade range. That one does go all the way in and right on the foot of Dictator. And then this is where the question is going to be, do you go for the rest immediately, or do you expect there to be one more nade coming in? It does come in immediately after, and Arthur gets himself the finish up on towards him. Good position on paper, but it's so situational as to when you should be positioning yourself out here. If you know there are teams around you, if you know it's going to be a tricky position to play from, then more often than not, it will not be the spot you would want to go to. Meet Jamaica's now chiming in on it as well. Outlaw's gonna go down 2, and all of a sudden it's looking very, very grim for Aztec Warriors. They had a good thing going in Contenders, then they just fell off there in the end. And well, I mean, now it seems like they might just be out of the run for Contenders Phase 2 as well. Abo makes the I mean, at this point they've got to realize that there's no way out of here. And that's what I said before. If you go down here too early, you could get yourself trapped. That's the issue, right? You could get yourself trapped if you go down into this spot too early on. There's no way for them to get out at this point. They've already lost one vehicle. I don't know, have they lost the tires? No, they have the tires in the Dacia. But before they manage to get speed driving through these fields, there's not going to be a whole lot to do. And again, guys, it doesn't really help that you're trying to give me observing advice. That's I was trying to make a joke, because I'm not observing. Circle pups. Are we going Pachinki or are we going out? Ooh, we're going north. Interesting one. We're actually going up towards where Abo and Aztec Warriors are sitting. There are only 2 players remaining on the team, but this is pretty interesting. This is some pretty interesting area to go to. We don't get a lot of endings up here. I don't recall having seen a single Ruins ending in all of PEL this season, actually. And O'Connell is in the tower. That is not a spot you see utilized too often, but of course, if you want to get the if you wanna get a good vision, then of course this is where you want to sit. But if you get knocked up there, I'm not sure anyone's really gonna come up and rescue. Oh, that's a headshot coming in, and O'Connell really has to worry. I mean, he has to worry that he could be headshot from up here. And Ghost Legion, smart play for them to push out this direction. They're under fire. That's the issue. You gotta clear your backside. You cannot just run out dry like that. You have got to throw some smokes if you're getting pressure applied from elsewhere. Cerebro from school, I believe it is. They're applying a lot of pressure on towards Ghost. And well, as you can see right now, these smokes that are being thrown probably should have been thrown a little while ago. Nades are coming over the top, and this could be knocks coming in return. Nice peek coming in. Austin, it does go down. Goldby gets it, but he goes down. Actually, it's going to be the 2 other players, Arthur and Yellow, going down. You can see Goldby from behind, just trying to hold the angle and play it safe for his team, but now he's the last remaining player. The idea was good to go out and push forward and get the finish up on the players on the other side, but not very well executed. And now you have all of Cerebro pushing over on the other side. This is not going to be an easy play whatsoever. The idea to go out and flush them to make sure there was no pressure and potentially be able to take that spot for yourself later was really smart, but with them not, first of all pushing out, and them not securing their sights before they make the run on up, so tricky, and they actually go down because of it. Goldby finished off. O'Connell will die up in the tower there as well. And that was a misplay coming out for Ghost Legion. The idea was good, but they did not manage to pull it off the way that they would have wanted to. Misa running out. He has been, well, I mean, he's been on a journey, I guess we can say. He was in Novo, far in the blue earlier, and now he's finally getting inside the circle. And still quite far away from his teammates. Meet Jamaica's, they're still on the edge line down here. trying to see what kind of info they can get off of a very, very limited vision. Ooh, T-Bone driving around. Intense spots him out. They know they have no pressure from above. But Intense's position, with T-Bone's position, could turn out to be deadly for medium makers. And this should be the call for them to leave, honestly. Because with T-Bone over on the other side, there's going to be so much more pressure potentially applied towards them. Circle, we saw it go a little further west, but somewhat center. So, not a whole lot of surprises to that one. We are still an area, though, with very, very few compounds to play around. So if hardcover is what you're looking for, well, rocks and trees is most likely all you're going to get other than your own vehicles. Northwest. We got all of 4AK far down south. They're all committed to the 2-story house, and that's all good. But as soon as teams start realizing where they are, they could get very, very, very hard kept on the edge and actually pinned inside the compound. So fortunately for them, Swarm isn't really in a position to start shooting in towards them, because that could be 4AK out in well, I mean, in any moment now. Medium makers, they've made their way inside the circle. They're sitting pretty well in it. T-Bone coming over the top. Is he going all by himself down towards them, or is he trying to connect with arrows on the other side? Seems like he's actually running up east. That's one hell of a headshot, T-Bone. Good shot. That's far away as well. What? T-Bone, you absolute madman, takes 2 guys out in the vehicle. If you can get a third. Cerebro, oh, let us just rotate in our vehicles. T-Bone, well, how about no? Taking 2 guys out in their vehicles as they tried rotating on in full-on denial. Coming in from T-Bone there. Holy cow. That guy, he can land some shots. He's been in the scene for a long time, and he's showing us exactly why he wants to get back into Contenders. Nice flips coming in for the 2 remaining players from Cerebro, who just got a bit surprised there. Parking the vehicle safe. Smart place. Is it safe, though? That's the big question. You can see where they've positioned themselves. Out of war, they've been forced out of the compound or decided to leave when the circle shifted further west, and they go back up the hills towards Pachinki. But this circle, as we said before, this is like a trench warfare, but with 14 nations fighting each other. So it's like World War I, but with a few more teams fighting. Once this circle shifts, once we only have church remaining, there's going to be so little hard cover for these teams that are up north that it's going to be practically impossible to be in a position where you're kind of covered from all angles. Nate gone over. Eat it with your tea, Siggy. No way in hell you're going to get rest up on there. Misa trying to hold the angle again. Misa has been in the blue for the last year, and well, I mean, he's still there. Nothing new under the sun in that regard, but he is trying to make his way through the... Oh my god, that nade is right on the money. Yep. Second one to finish him, and that's gonna be both their vehicles exploded too. Oh my god, Misa, you absolute... What? So I guess what T-Bone can do with a sniper, Misa can do with nades. That was like playing golf, but blindfolded and with nades instead of golf clubs and balls. That was very, very, very impressive throws. Unfortunately, Misa goes down. Sure, denies some kill points for whoever had a chance to take him down and kills up a team as well. But that was absolutely insane. We still have 13 teams in the game as we hit the 20-minute mark in just a short moment. Still 13 teams alive. We're nowhere near kill point shit, and I think pretty much every team at this point, with few exceptions, have taken some sort of casualties already. We're moving far out in the open. You can see this right here. Everybody is running around in the open. It's going to be ever so hard to play from this area of the map. Houston trying to fall back. Buzzword trying to hold the angle for him, but now it's going to be out of wall, trying to third party what was a push, potential push, coming in from Persis. They now have to go around the side instead. And initially, Saga gets himself a knock. It does go down in return, though. Pullman tries to hold the angle, does get the finish off, but his teammate goes down. So Persis lives a little while longer. 12 teams remaining now. As Personal Courage got eliminated there, and Clip all by himself. We saw Riddle there on the brink of making it in, but also just outside. They need to play it super smart from here. And well, I mean, Temporary Name, they've been chilling in the houses here for a while. That was pretty much the first spot they rotated to, and they don't have any kills yet. Nobody really wants to be exposed to that position. Silas has 11 bullets left in his sniper and over 200 5.56 bullets. I hope that his teammates can share some 7.62 in just a moment when he runs out. Boyk running Gray has gone down. Oh, that's a good connected shot right there. And Venconas are going to be taken down as a following. So as I said, they had 0 kills. They do manage to get themselves 2 right off the bat. Nate's now coming in. Northwest has to run back off. Smart play there. They do still have time, but as we can see, Swarm, they're starting to, well, swarm in towards them. Aaliyah takes a shot towards him. T-Bone spots out one, but goes down after getting one knock. And Tense was there in the angle. And there's just so many people around this area now that it is practically impossible to stay hidden. As I said before, if you ever peek somebody, there will most likely be 3, 4, maybe even 5 other players able to spot you out. Ronnie forced the prone down on the road here. And they have not a whole lot to play for. There are 4 teams pretty much on top of each other down in this area of the map. And, well, I mean, they will have to fight at some point because neither of them are inside the circle. New circle goes out east. And, well, all these teams, they will have to start running into this open, and horrible field at some point soon. Medium Maker still have 2 guys on their feet. Flo is trying to crawl back down towards his teammates. Circle, of course, not closing in just yet. And Levent, you can see in the suit as he peeks over, shots are fired over his head. Doesn't have a nade to use, unfortunately. But if he peeks, if he times it right, oh, they're expecting him. They're waiting for him. Shots are being fired in as well. Levent peeking a little greedy, maybe. He knew that they had to peek over at some point, but was trying to see if he could time it right. And now this might just be him not able to get rest, so at least they do deny 1 rest coming in. Ronnie gets down 1. Northwest is going to be the one to get the knock, actually. About Clip raiding on the other side. This could be too much for him to handle. He's looking into the barrel of 4 players. Northwest taken down immediately. Ronnie goes down to the blue in the end there as well. And you can see P6 from the side trying to spray through, but doesn't get any damage done, and he goes down to the circle. Wow, that was a whiff and a half, and unfortunately, didn't get any kills off of that one. Vehicle exploded, fun thrown to the sky, and that's going to be Medium Makers out just 1 point out of placement points. They did get some kills with them though. Simpson, Riddle, they see them go out, they need to get a lot of points here. And most importantly, could they take out the team in huge potential? That would be amazing for them. Then it's all now crawling up forward, and everybody's getting eliminated. We have 13 teams alive. 13 teams and 35 players alive at 20 minutes. 4 minutes later, we're down to just 12 players in the game. That is how fast it goes sometimes. Silas gets down, then it's all that's going to be the entirety of huge potential out, and all of a sudden 4 teams remaining. What the actual hell just happened here? What in the universe did we just witness? An absolute bloodbath for so long. And all of a sudden, we have just 10 players alive. And somehow, Temporary Name still have all their players up. Same thing going, I believe, for Art of War. They're sitting pretty well in it on the southeastern side. Limerith gets knocked once more. This should be him going down. Aurora does get finished off, though. See Sneaky and his teammate there under a lot of fire now as well, but good suppressive fire being applied from him, and that should allow them to stay put at least for a little while longer. But Andy with a sniper in hand gets the headshot connected on towards Sneaky. Do not want to stand still and peek when there are guys like Andy with bolt action snipers in their hands still remaining on the server. They will land these shots more often than not, and you can see that allowed for him to push down the hill to potentially get into a better spot. ever so cautious. Wants to get that angle. Wants to secure it. And speaking of Art of War, I mean, seriously, they barely even made it. I was giving them a hard time. Holy Andy, you have woken up, buddy. Welcome back. Welcome back. You never left. I know you didn't. But these shots you're connecting right now, that is something we've seen you do. And I will be honest and say there was a period where you then didn't, but now you sure as hell are playing at max capacity. Well done. No, but honestly, I mean, Art of War, they barely made it into the final stage here, and now they're just annihilating everyone. They won the previous game with 14 kills, I believe, and now they're sitting themselves up on the top again. All game one was. But they had a good game yesterday, a couple of good games yesterday, actually, and today they've just been insane as well. So really impressive plays coming out of them, and I'm glad to see it. Glad to see it. All the guys have been in the scene for a long time, and they've all shown us exactly why they deserve to get back on. And 10 kills now for Art of War. Really impressive plays coming out. LXG chilling out in the edge of the circle. 3 guys alive in temporary name, and 3 guys up for Art of War, and they're sitting on each side. Double SNR and M24 against M24, SLR, and I cannot see what weapon Yannick has, but most likely a sniper of some sort as well. That would be an SKS. It's the booster going. Playing it safe. Only 5 bandages remaining though, as we can see these guys, they've been fighting for the entire game, burning through meds all day, every day, and Silas shows his teammates that, well, we might see Andy doing this a lot, but I can do it too. Memo slow peeking the ankle. Silas was holding it, waiting for him, and he would not be missing that one. 14 bullets left in the weapon for Ben. Hopefully he has a 5.56 to spare, or to jump over to once he decides to do that. 10 bullets now. Yep, fortunately, as we can see there, does have a Skyle available. Nade's coming in, wants to get the finish offs. It's gonna be kill secured. Yannick trying to push up on over. Temporary name. They won a game on day 1. And now they're trying to see if they can do the same thing here. They started off really well in the tournament. They won a game on game 2, and then they had a 2nd place in game 1. And now they want to do something here as well. 3 versus 2. They have good positioning. Silas gets that one. Nice long-range spray from D's coming in to assist as well. But Andy now 1 versus 3. Can he somehow pull this one off? He's been playing insane today so far, but there's a lot of people to be taken down should he want to do this. And you can see the spray of frustration